Your Excellence, Mr. Ambassador, we are glad to greet you at our lyceum. India is a large multinational country in Southern Asia. About 1 out of every 5 people in the world lives in India. Everybody knows this fact. Mahatma Gandhi was your famous leader of long struggle for independence. India became independent in 1947 and is governed under a constitution that went into effect in 1950, before days we celebrate the date. Since then, Indian government has been trying to develop the country's resources and improve the standard of living. The government of India is working hard to stimulate industrial growth, and India has become the world's the largest countries, nations. India has a great passengers of its youth attending colleges than other developing countries do. India has more scientists and skilled workers than other countries. India has nuclear power stations, nuclear reactors, and communication satellites. Indian literature ranks among the great achievements of literature of the world. Rabindranath Tagore, an Indian man of letters, won Nobel Prize in 1913. Mr. Ambassador, lyceum-intellect prepares candidates for Cambridge English exams. The world's leading graduate educations for learners of English. 11 subjects are taught in English at lyceum-intellect. And every year, Cambridge English Language Assessment and Cambridge University Press calculate lyceum-intellect of successful completion of English school programs. In our work, we use educational materials and qualification of internationally recognized quality. Your Excellence, I have a dream today. And even though we face a difficult student tomorrow, I have still a dream that one day on the green hills of the capital of independent Ukraine, our students will be able to sit down together with the Indian students at the table of knowledge, science, education, culture, and brotherhood. The best wishes to you and your colleagues. Welcome you at our lyceum. Thank you much indeed for your attention.
Можешь пойти убрать. Подожди, зайди через то, что слышишь. Что это? Музыка? Кто выступает? Я же не знаю. Що таке? Посвіти? Ну, зганяй вернув тихенько, спитай, що має бути. Хто виступає? А, ні, посол. Я ж коли мишку беру. А, він хотів музику на вихід посадити, нічого.
Namaskar. Good morning to all of you. I'm very grateful for the invitation from the school and to the principal to get the opportunity to come here and meet students of class 11, right? Students of class 11 of this, I must say, very prestigious school. I have heard a bit about the Lyceum here, And what I have seen has left me very impressed. School seems to be one of the model schools that we also started as an experiment many years back, to have these schools in every district, so that other schools could emulate what goes on in terms of educational programs in the school. And I see that all of you students, you're very well versed, especially in English, and I've heard from some of your colleagues in science and technology, mathematics, and I hope also some culture and humanities. Because for every student, it's essential to balance the quest for knowledge in science, mathematics, with the love for history, with the love for culture, with the love for knowledge of your traditions. That is what makes you a complete student. And that is what gives you the basis of understanding all our modern advancements in the context of history. So thank you all once again. I am new to Kiev, to Ukraine. I joined as ambassador 2-3 months back, and I've traveled across the world, partly because I'm a diplomat, and partly also out of the necessity of work. And I have been to quite a few educational institutions and schools across the world. And I must say today, coming to your school, I'm very impressed. Not only with the decor and style of the building, but also by the repute that your principal carries, being a nuclear physicist, having traveled and taught and worked all across the globe, but most importantly by your students. You know, there are two places I normally go when I'm a bit agitated in life. One is the airport. Because when you go to the airport and you see people coming and going, you realize how active life is. And the second is the school. Because when you come to a school and you see the students there, the freshness of life, the thirst for knowledge, and you should all also have the streak of rebellion in you, so that you question things that are taught to you with the right spirit to understand why it is being taught to you like that. And therefore, when I go to a school, I always get energized. So today, when I woke up and I realized that my first official encounter is going to happen in a school, although I have a bad cold and a bad throat today, I said, no, I have to go to the school, because the energy I derive from seeing students in a school is something that I don't derive when I go about doing my official work, which I can confess is sometimes boring. But coming to the school, seeing you all, is always a nice thing. As your principal mentioned, yes, India is a big country. It's in some ways a very old country, but in many ways a very young country. We are an old country because we have a rich tradition of culture, history, mythology, and brotherhood. And we are a new country because we got independence about 69, 70 years back. We have practiced democracy for 60 to 70 years. We have embarked on a program for social development a few years back, which is about 70 years back. We practice democracy, and that's the biggest and most challenging, although the most beautiful way to govern yourself, but at the same time throws up incredible numbers of challenges. Because when you allow every individual in a country to have the ability to express their own opinion, your own freedom of thought and expression, respect for each other, it also leads to the point where if each individual is not respectful of the boundaries of the other individual, it can lead to chaos. it can lead to conflict, and it can damage your society. So, we have practiced democracy for the last 70 years, and I can proudly say I represent the largest democracy on the planet. And the reason I tell you this is because you are also practicing democracy. And you are the largest democracy in Europe. And you have seen, although your country is young, you have seen how difficult it is to manage democracy. And that is why you as young students, you as children, you as the future of your country must realize the gift you have got to grow up in a country which is democratic. And therefore, it is the responsibility of each one of you students to respect, to uphold, to practice, and to be proud of this democratic tradition. I'm sure you do, your professors talk about it, but I thought I should raise it here because the biggest democracy of the world is talking to the largest democracy in Europe. And you children studying in this beautiful school must be the first ones, because you're privileged to have this ability and the facility to study in such a top grade, high quality school, to realize this and therefore be able to practice it. Apart from democracy, we also practice secularism. We are a country of more than 1 billion people. We are the country where most of the major religions are practiced. We are the country which has about 29 to 32 languages, official languages. We have a number of states. We are proud of being a diverse country, of practicing diversity. Despite all our diversity, we are a united country. And India today, especially when it is present in the globe, talks of peace, talks of development, talks of brotherhood, and talks of universal truths. And that's the strength of being a country such as India, and that's my pride in representing this country. And I'm sure all of you, when you grow up and you do your own studies and lines of work, will realize that it's the motherland, it's the country. It's the place where you grow up, where you get your training, where you develop your identity, is the place that you should always carry close to your heart. But coming back to more lighter things, I'm sure, how many students are there in the school, Principal? 1,000 students? 1,000? Little bit. It's a big school. 1,000 students is actually a very big school. And your teachers also must be from diverse subjects and diverse topics. And all of you therefore are a little family, in which right from class 1 to class 11, you progress so that you can then go on to your life and be good students and citizens. It's a challenging world today. If you talk of climate change, it's going to be something that's going to be your responsibility. The planet is yours. But older people like me, we are utilizing the planet. We have to be responsible to leave a planet that is nice for you. And that's why all of you too should be aware of these important global things. Climate change, global warming, economic sustainability, social development. All these are issues which affect you as young students, because in a couple of years, you will go out into the world and deal with this subject matter and be responsible for it. So all the best to you all. And thank you once again, Mr. Principal, for inviting me here. And I look forward for close association with the school through myself and through the embassy in the period that I'm going to be here. Thank you very much.
The number of innovative projects which have been implemented, including educational institution of Ukrainian-level intellect. The only school in Ukraine with independent eating, smart home system, and online studying. Member of Cambridge University School Program.
Dear friends, welcome to one of the best schools in Ukraine, Lyceum-Intellect. Since its foundation in 1989, the Lyceum has been highly ranked as a leading school due to the results of independent testing in key subjects such as math, English, Ukrainian, and history. We not only study hard every day, but also take part in various contests and competitions, set proper goals, and learn to accomplish them. We demonstrate a positive image of well-educated society members and make up the cultural elite of Ukraine.
Teaching staff are a unique treasure of the Lyceum. Our teachers are very qualified and talented people who not only teach, they challenge students by giving them interesting and creative tasks. They inspire students to strive for more knowledge and skills. They want us to become successful in this competitive world. Moreover, they create the atmosphere of trust and understanding in their lessons. Lyceum-Intellect is not only a place for studying and taking exams. It's a diversity of after-school activities, which include dancing competitions, football and chess championships, cycling and roller skating contests. These events add color and excitement to the school life and make it really wonderful and unforgettable.
Moreover, we travel to other European countries being members of the international program Explore Europe Together. Also, we go to theaters, museums, art galleries, and exhibitions. It obviously expands our outlook, makes us more intelligent and versatile. For many years, the students of the Lyceum have been taking part in the Cambridge University School Program and have reached the highest goals. Our unique school nurtures highly educated young people capable to work and realize their potential in the global world.
The Lyceum is frequently engaged in various meetings with foreign guests. We had a chance to invite the ambassadors of Great Britain, Canada, and India, the professor from London University to have a talk with our students. They could share their experience, cultural and national peculiarities, and most importantly, our students had the possibility to practice English. Finally, Lyceum-Intellect has been numerously awarded by different state bodies and international organizations for introducing innovative teaching methods and its valuable contribution to the process of education. We are known worldwide and we are very proud of it.
Много лет практикуя йога, это дыхательные упражнения пранаямы, релаксации, медитации. Я сам в собственной жизни получил большую пользу и хочу делиться с этими, чтобы все дети в Украине смогли получить от этого пользу и развивались онлайн.
Нашим суперінтенсивним графіком, подібні практичні заняття, взагалі сама суть йоги, яка розслабляє, яка дає бажання жити, творити, це дуже важливо і я впевнений, нам дуже допомагає.
Это мое уже 4-е занятие, и мне нравится, как легко стало дышать и концентрироваться.
Людина повинна відчувати все те, що було зроблено в Індії, яка має дуже багату і серйозну історію розвитку культури, філософії. Це великий плюс підготовки наших випускників. Більш того, це вимагає сучасне життя.
кінокомпанія «Інтелект» представляє.
Я знаю, що я добре знав ЗНО, оскільки випускники нашого ліцею «Інтелект» мають найкращий результат з математики, англійської мови та за сумою всіх предметів в Україні. А можливо, я буду неодноразовим переможцем і призером всеукраїнських олімпіад, як мої старші колеги. В нашому ліцеї так цікаво викладати біологію, що ми можемо сміливо вступити на бюджет біологічного інституту. Я мрію, щоб у майбутньому я навчалась там, де навчаються наші випускники. Відкритий світ постав перед очима. Все стало ясним, зрозумілим.
Тепер нема незвіданих доріг.
Запам'ятав на все життя. Відкритий світ – це відкриття, істинність,
Терзання, кмітливість, ритмічність, динамічність, ймовірність, сенсація, важливість, інтелект.
Приходьте, друзі! Раді вам!
Зараз будуть виступати, побіжити. Розумів? Ховати трибуну. Розбираємось по ходу, не знаю. Давайте артистів. Давайте артистів. Кирил, поклич. Дівчата нехай йдуть. Вибирайте. Они пошли.
I thought my heart, you rose and fell, my rose to claim it. It was dark, and I was over until you kissed my lips and you saved me. My hand, they're strong, but my knees will far away. To stand in your arms without falling to your feet. But there's a side to you that I never knew. All the scenes you say that were never true, and the games you play, you will always win. But I set fire through the rain, watch you pour aside, touch your face. And I will return to that one last time. When I lay with you, I could stay there and close my eyes and you here forever. true, never true. And the games you play, you will always win, always win. But I set fire through the rain. What should put aside that your face will burn when I cry and I heard this English your name. Your name. I set fire through the rain, and as you eyes into the flames, well, I felt something I will return to. That was last time. Something died wake up as you go. The sound we made must be waiting for you. Even now when you already over, I can tell myself from looking for you. I set fire through the rain. Would you burn me as that your face? Well, I found something I wouldn't do. That it was last time I set fire to the rain, and as we eyes into the flames, well, I found something I wouldn't do. That it was last time I let it go.
This house no longer feels like home.
Good day to everybody. I, on behalf of Heartfulness Institute in Ukraine, Arna, welcome you all for this great day. Today is a wonderful day. It is the day of unity. In Ukrainian we call it День Соборности. And on this wonderful great day, we are very happy and we are very privileged to have our Honorable Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Partha Satpatthí, to be present with us and have his direct vision about the growth development of lyceum-intellect in a wonderful way. And we are very much proud of the fact that since more than 1 year, lyceum-intellect has been the guide, the path shower to the whole of Ukraine to let the children learn yoga in the schools. And in a practical way, with our instructors, we have been able to guide almost more than 600 children of lyceum-intellect. Every week, 10 to 12 hours, we used to be present here with the children, and during the sports classes, the physical culture classes, we used to practice with the children. That has showed during 1 year's practice the great benefit for the children, that it brings activeness, it removes dullness and aggression. It removes aggression as well. It has been practically experienced in the atmosphere of the school. And that's why last year, our previous Ambassador, Mr. Manoj Kumar Bharti, opened the yoga club in the school, which has been basically planned to be the base or the platform for the whole country to train the children in the schools, their parents and the teachers, that is the whole country, to get the maximum benefit in a natural way. And during that last meeting, when Mr. Manoj Bharti visited this, it was also decided that during our different programs in the school, not only the school children of lyceum-intellect will be benefited, we will be making for other schools, for other different cities to invite them. And between India and Ukraine, we will plan different programs like telebreeze between India and Ukrainian school intellect. We had already been able to do that last year in April 19th in front of our previous ambassador. And this year, we are going to plan this from between 18th to 25th of April. And that will be also on the value of humanity, which is directly connected with yoga. Yoga is the unity which brings everybody together. And at the same time, the newly found Ukrainian Association of Ayurveda and Yoga has decided, and with discussion with the principal and our Embassy of India in Ukraine, will be conducting many lectures, many seminars on Ayurveda for the children, how it is useful and beneficial for the children. So we are looking forward for a great and close cooperation between our embassy and the school to make this school a model school for the whole of the country, and for the doctors, for children, for the citizens of Ukraine, it will be highly beneficial. I will request His Excellency Mr. Partha Satpatthí to have interaction with the children and have some question answer. If the children of class 11, if you have any questions, please be free, be very frank, and have your questions, your ideas to share with His Excellency. Thank you.
can do it here.
Yeah.
Just the mic is on this side. For you, of course.
One more for students.
I'm very curious, which languages can you speak? Hindi and Marathi, or which dialects? Because I know there are a lot of in India.
What's your name? Which class are you in?
Well, I'm in 11th grade. My name is Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya. How many languages I speak? That, of course, depends on whether I'm awake or asleep.
So do you learn?
When I'm awake, I speak English.
Okay.
I speak Portuguese. I speak a bit of Spanish, a bit of French.
A bit of everything.
Well, it's not easy to speak a bit of everything. And my own mother tongues, which is Hindi, which is our national language.
Okay.
And Oriya, which is my mother tongue. And Bengali, which is also another distinct Indian language.
Okay.
How many languages are in India? There are numerous languages in India. Officially, we recognize, I think, about 17 languages. And these languages are, they have their own alphabets, they have their own script. Of course, they are derived from two mother languages, Sanskrit. I don't know if you've heard of Sanskrit as a language. It's like Latin.
I heard about it.
Older than Latin. And of course, Sangam, which is in South India. Sanskrit languages are all in North India. And the Sangam languages are in South India. So that's all the languages we speak, so you can understand the definition of the word Babel. You can apply to India because 1 million people speaking in about 20 languages, but we are one country. So therefore we need a national language, which is Hindi. Unfortunately, most of us, especially those who have been educated, speak English. Most of our higher education in universities is in English. So there is a commonality and ability to understand.
Thank you for your answer.
Hello, my name is Valerie, and I have a question. In what countries have you already been to as an ambassador?
Well, I have been, before this, I was ambassador of India to Senegal. I don't know if you've heard of this country. It's on West Africa. It's on the Atlantic. And the best part of my posting was my house was on the beach. But I was also ambassador to 3 other countries, which is Gambia. This is a small country in between Senegal. And to the south of Senegal, a small country called Guinea-Bissau. They speak Portuguese. And a bunch of islands in the Atlantic Ocean called Cabo Verde. 10 islands. They also speak Portuguese. So I used to joke, I speak English. When I wake up, I speak French. When I go to Gambia, I speak English. When I go down to Guinea-Bissau, I speak Portuguese. And when I fly to the islands in Cabo Verde, I practice Portuguese. So those are the 4 countries I was before being here.
Thank you.
So, hello, my name is Bogdan, and I want to ask a question about economic relations between Ukraine and India. So, in recent years, Ukraine has signed visa-free regimes with a lot of countries, including not only European countries, but countries in the whole world. Is it possible to sign visa-free regime between Europe, between Ukraine and India?
Well, that's a question which is useful, intelligent, and a bit difficult to answer. Because, yes, people from Ukraine who want to travel to India need a visa, just like people from India who come to Ukraine also need a visa. It's how you get the visa is sometimes the problem. We have something known as an electronic visa, an e-visa. You apply online, and if you are a nice person, a good person, you will definitely get your visa and you can travel to India. Similarly, people coming from India to Ukraine, they have to apply for visas in your embassy in Delhi. And once they get a visa, they can come here. A visa-free regime takes a lot of discussions and a lot of situations, which at this point of time is not possible. But of course, let's hope for that in the future. And you value democracy, you value freedom, you value the ability to express, you value the possibility to practice your own religion. You're all equal before the law. You all have equal opportunities. There is no gender discrimination. Now, if all these things are important to you and you value them, automatically then you start wondering, how do I enjoy them? How do I make use of them? And that gives you the insight that if I want to enjoy it for myself, for my community, for my country, then I must also allow the others to enjoy it too. And defining this space, what is your space and what is my space, is what decides on the quality of citizenship, which you all practice, which you all will have to practice, and I wish you all practice very effectively. Thank you. So, anyone else? I'm seeing a lot of Vishivankas here. Is it part of the uniform?
Today is the day of Vishivanka.
I see, it's the day of Vishivanka. I wish I knew that. I would have worn one too, instead of the silly coat and jacket. But yeah, thank you then.
My name is Alicia, and I have a military-related question.
Military-related?
Yeah. So I know that Ukraine has been a good source of military technology for India for quite a long time. Particularly, I think, from in the day Ukraine gained its independence. I know a treaty was signed, or an agreement was signed in December of 2012, which came into force in 2013. Do you plan to sustain, or maybe somehow, do you plan just to sustain these military relationships with Ukraine in the following years, or maybe add in a couple of more countries in this relation?
Yes, of course you're right, and I'm glad you know this, that military cooperation, which we regard as a very strategic sector, between India and Ukraine has been going on for a number of years. We have collaborated in the area of aircraft technology, naval technology, and a lot of other equipment, which is very essential for our armed forces, and which Ukraine has a lot of technology and production facilities. So this will go on. In fact, we were joking the other day with some of your ministers that most of our ships will keep sailing as long as India and Ukraine continue to have a friendly relation. Because many of the turbines in our ships are powered by turbines, gas turbines made here in Ukraine. So the relationship will continue. We have to see how it becomes more diversified and what other new areas of technology come into this cooperation. Thank you.
No more questions? One more question. One more. Okay, speak without.
So I wanted to ask another question. How do you think we can maintain nice relationships between Ukraine and India? What do we have to do for this? Because obviously it would be good for both.
Obviously. And therein lies, how do we keep good relations between the two countries? Therein lies your responsibility. And if I was in a school in India, I would also say therein lies their responsibility. You know, people of my generation, although I refuse to call myself old, we have grown up in a certain period of history in which we have got our knowledge and experiences. So today's world, the world which is your world, full of technology, full of disruptions, full of awareness, you can just get onto your website and Google anything, and you can get instant information. So it depends actually upon the young people of each of our countries. You in Ukraine, Indians in India, what interest they take in each other, learn about each other, and therefore appreciate about each other. And part of that responsibility, of course, lies in the diplomatic representation abroad, your embassy in India, Indian Embassy here in Ukraine, and if we continue this interest, especially in the younger generation, not only in education, not only in science and technology, not only in advancements, but also in yoga. I'm sure you all know about Bollywood. In our culture, traditions, this friendship can become stronger in the future. True, you have to respect each other, but take everything with a pinch of salt. See what is right and wrong. Don't hesitate to advise what is good, appreciate what is good, and give your suggestions for improving what is bad. You have to use the mic.
You talked about diverse traditions in your country, so what are they? What are the most interesting?
That's going to take a full class, I guess. Maybe not even a class, but by traditions and their diversity. I mean, you can start from the smallest thing, the dress which people wear in India, traditional dress in different parts of India. Those coming from my state, which is Orissa on the eastern coast, might be different from those who live in the north, that is Punjab. Dress is one. Food is another kind of food. To you, it's all Indian food, curry. But there is a lot of difference between the food that we eat in different regions. The kind of, gods we worship in our religion. The kind of temples we visit. The temples in North India are different from the temples in South India, both in style and in architecture and the mannerism of worship. Things like how do people get married? How are you given a name? What ceremonies you observe when you are born, when there is death in the family. All this, there's a lot of variety. There's a lot of difference. Simply because traditions have a way of evolving, and then it's up to the people who then cultivate it and make it a part of their daily living. And this diversity you will see in India. Unlike many countries, for example, here in Ukraine, it's a country with mostly Orthodox religion. Of course, you have Catholicism and other religions too. Some other countries are even more lucky in terms of uniformity, in terms of race, uniformity in terms of religion. In India, we have, as I said, a lot of religious practices, a lot of languages. So therefore, traditions evolve, and that's how what I meant. You will see when you grow up and you visit India, you will see for yourself.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Thank you then, and I wish you have a question? Yeah. Okay.
Our previous ambassador was fond of yoga and was promoting yoga lessons. But what do you think about it?
Do you like yoga?
Yes.
Yoga is a very beautiful way of doing something that sometimes is troublesome. And this is exercising every day to keep fit, keeping your mind free of clutter, concentrating on what you think you should do, overcoming the challenges of modern life, addictions, obsessions, and this sheer variety of temptations that a young mind today has. To overcome all that, yoga is a very nice, safe, useful and colorful way to develop your life. You can exercise, you can breathe through pranayams, have a cleansing of your system, you can meditate and feel free of the clutter, and you can study about yoga to see where the spirituality of yoga comes from. So therefore yoga is very nice, it's very useful, and I would encourage all of you to practice it and learn more about it.
Thank you.
So thank you.
On behalf of
So there's a certain tradition in Ukraine also. We really value our ceremonies too. We value the things we use in the ceremonies, and we value even our toys. So something to give you today is a Ukrainian toy, which is stuffed with herbs. You can smell if you want. As a token of friendship, appreciation, and we hope that this will also begin a very good relationship with you as the new ambassador of India in Ukraine.
Thank you. It's a nice toy. I hope to get more toys when I come and see you again. Thank you very much. I have some gifts for the principal, which he'll probably explain to you later on. Thank you very much.